Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful people of the world. It's me, Lainey, and I hope you're all having a phantasmical day. Phantasmical? Yep, that's a word. Alright, so today, in the wonderful world of me drawing things, I am drawing my original characters. Why? Because I love them. They are the love of my life. Now, you may not know this about me, but I have 102 original characters. Now, you may think that's a little excessive, or if you're like me and you just can't stop creating characters, you're like, what do you mean you only have 102? I've been restraining myself. But basically what happened was, back in 2015, I was 15, it was a time, it was a thing, teenager. I used to be really scared all the time of everything, everywhere, and I just started getting into art, and that was really helping me mentally, blah 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 blah, sad story, who cares. Sorry. But one of the things that I was really struggling with was falling asleep, and I used to distract myself by watching anime, but the thing is I just get really invested in the anime and then I wouldn't fall asleep, and then I would go to school after not having slept, then stay up, and then there were times where I'd go to school twice in the same wake cycle, basically, which is, not what you want. And so what I started doing, instead of just binge watching anime, also my phone got taken away from me, rightfully so. I am not mad about it. I mean, I was mad about it at the time, but looking back, I was a teenager, I deserved it. So what I did instead was I started thinking about these characters, because one day when I just made a couple of characters based off of the rainbow, because I don't know anything about character design, but then I'm thinking, what if these characters had a personality? And so I started thinking about it, and then I started giving them connections to each other, and then I started writing all these characters, and then eventually I would just fall asleep. So basically every night before I would go to sleep, I would pick just a random character. I would think about their life and just a scene in my head, and I would replay the scene over and over again, trying to make it make the character's dialogue sort of make sense in my brain, and who would be there, where are they, and make the setting. So I thought way too much about it, basically. But I have 102 original characters, and they've all appeared somewhere in my mind, and some of them are way more fleshed out than others. For a long time, Candy, or Candace, she used to be the main character I focused on, but now it's not. It's another character. Her name is Bisma. But the one that I'm drawing now, well, I draw a bunch of drawings. There's a bunch of different pages, and they've all got different characters. They're not the most crazy drawings. They're not super shaded. They're not even well sketched out. I just sort of drew the general shapes, and then just good enough. I just wanted to kind of get all of their colors down in typical me fashion. They're very pastel-y sort of color schemes, because that's just how I roll. And so I didn't actually manage to film me recording drawing all 102 original characters. It's mostly just this page, and then I've done the lineup for another page. So while this is going on, I can go through all of the characters that are on this page, because I don't have anything else to talk about. And I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. I'm really tired. But the first character we have that is not currently on screen is Candy, or Candace, like I just mentioned. She used to be the main character, so I've thought about her a lot. She has red hair, she's got one blue eye, one green eye, and she's got cat ears. Because when I made her in the beginning, when I first drew her for the first time, that was back in 2010, and she didn't have a lot of those features. It was just a random pencil sketch. But when I redesigned her in 2015, I gave her those things because I was 15. I'm like, haha, fun, cool. But every time I've redesigned her since, I'm like, I can't get rid of these features, so I've kept them. She has the red hair because her mum has the red hair because her mum is a demon, and Candy herself is technically a demon, but the demon inside of her was extracted from her, so she went back to having her father's green eyes, but the demon is now linked to her body, and when another person, usually a demon, is linked to a human, which whatever other species, one of their eyes turns blue. So Roxy, who is actually Candy's inner demon, well, it's not really inner, her demon, basically, because Candy was so young, the demon didn't like fully integrate into her, because demon powers show up when you're born only if both of your parents are a demon, but Candy is a half demon. But in this world, half demons don't really work, so you're either gonna be a demon or you're not gonna be a demon. But because Candy was too young and she was suppressing a lot of her demon-y powers, she didn't fully integrate with her demon, and it was able to be extracted after bad things happened. And that's Roxy. She's very sassy, and I love her. Not too much about her, but they were extracted by Flosser. She is a magical, mysterious lady. We know nothing about her. I mean, I know things about her, but I'm not going to tell you about her. She's Candy's great-grandmother, but we don't know how old she is. To be fair, I don't really know how old she is. She's anywhere between like 300 or 500 years old, but she keeps herself young. She's the strongest witch that ever witched, you know? That's how she be. But she doesn't appear as powerful as she used to be, because she's got this talking stuffed rabbit that's around her, but nobody knows that it's actually an incredibly powerful demon, and it simply could not be killed. It's the only demon that has been powerful enough to have not been killed by Flosser. So she keeps this little demon in check for sacrificing like most of her ability to use magic to keep this demon locked, and they've just sort of been vibing together for like 300 years, so that's what's happening. But the little bunny's name is Shio. She's loud, she talks a lot, she's really rude, but you know, over time she's kind of just become super nice and caring, and even if she wasn't a bunny anymore, she'd probably, you know, not want to destroy the world, because she's, despite what she says, she's real chill. But Flosser doesn't speak, and she's a little creepy. Next on the list we have Michael, or Mikhail, I can never remember. I switch between those two pronunciations, but I usually call him Mick. He is Candy and Lavender. Lavender's the sister, but she's not next in the list, so we'll get to her eventually. We got good old Mick, and, you know, he's gone through a lot of things. Candy, when she was 9, is that what it was in the story? Yeah, 9, there was big explosion, big poof, big yippity yikes, and yeah, she kind of blew up their house. Her sister was still inside, so yeah, humongous yikes. So Candy and Roxy have like matching burn scars on like opposite sides of their body, you know, cute things, cute sister things. But Mick went in to save his daughters, and he ended up in a coma for a while. And, you know, that caused a lot of drama. Candy had to lose all of her memories, and that's when Roxy was extracted, yada yada. Big story plot. But Mick was being looked after by Flosser and her magic until his niece, Dolly, who is the next in line, appeared. She is a crazy mad scientist who Frankensteined that thing that's standing next to her named Buttons. Buttons' a sweetheart. She can't actually talk, she just kind of stands there, and she gets really upset when Dolly does something that's a little chaotic. But, you know, Dolly's nice. She's 100% a little tsundere. Like, she pretends that she doesn't care, but she 100% does. We love her. Buttons, yep, like I said, weird and nice. Next on the list is June. That is Mick's older brother. He is a science teacher at, you know, just kind of the just regular school. It's one of the more sort of country-ish schools, but it's one of the more accepting ones towards demon children. So he comes across a lot of demon people, but, you know, this is still a very awkward time where demons are slowly trying to integrate in with everybody, but it's, you know, it's gonna take a while. You know, not everybody's used to seeing demons all the time because they were banished from the lands for so long. But Next to June is his wife Kathy, who is a demon. She's also a teacher at the school. She teaches art, and because she's a demon, she's also she was the first demon teacher at the school. So big fun times. Kathy is honestly, in terms of personality, one of my favorite people. She started off not being an original character. She was just something super cheesy that I drew one time. Somebody once asked me to draw something for the saying "raw means I love you" in Dinosaur, and then I drew this character, and then every year I drew that character since, and I kept upgrading and changing her, and then eventually I just sort of really liked how the design was turning out, and then I made her into Kathy, and now she's a fun arty mum. She's super loud and she's super sweet, and she's a little jelly bean. And next is Ruby, and Ruby is really mysterious. Cars, man, why? She's loud. She's very loud. She's got a very loud personality, but you never know what she's thinking. She's kind of scary, actually. She's not a bad character, but she's not really a character you want to mess with. And let's probably move on to the last row, which has Jake, Oscar, Miyu, and Miranda, who are the 4 orphan children. If you want to know anything about any of their specific stories, you can ask. But basically, they're all orphans. Just orphans. Oscar was dropped off at the orphanage when he was a baby. Jake appeared, that's a weird word to use, but appeared there when he was 3 after his parents passed away, and they were good friends with Christina, who is Candy and Lavender's mother, wife to Mick. Miranda, no one really knows when she showed up. She was just kind of there one day, and she's just kind of been there ever since. And Miyu, on the other hand, she was found in the woods. She's actually a vampire, which is a form of demon in this world, because, in this world, well, you might not know because I haven't explained that, but demons in this world are basically just people who have red eyes, so that could be anything from, actual demons to succubus. Kathy, I didn't mention that Kathy was a succubus, did I? I just said she was a demon. So the type of demon she is a succubus. But she's just, not into the usual succubus activities. But Miyu is a vampire, and her parents were killed for, being vampires, and people being very not cool with demons roaming around. So they just kill them because they're monsters, even though they usually don't do anything. So, what can you do? And then there's Lavender, who I don't draw Lavender nearly enough. I know I said Kathy's one of my favorites, but honestly, I love all of them. But, I don't know. I think about Lavender's story way too much, because she's one of my favorite people to just make the story for, because she's just a nice person altogether. She helps her mum, Christina, at the orphanage. She lives in the Enchanted Forest all by herself, where humans aren't really supposed to live. But if you are blessed by the forest, which is a very complicated ceremony that I need to work out all the kinks for, basically it's just the forest decides whether you're good enough to be there. And if you're not, the forest will disorient you and make you lost and send you into traps and make you walk off cliffs and make you go crazy. So you really need the blessing before you just run into the Enchanted Forest. Usually, hunters and stuff don't get away with going in there. Tilda is one of the creatures that lives in the forest, because most magical creatures sort of just get a free pass. But centaurs are usually super... I don't want to say shy. They just don't want to interact with people, because people kind of really suck, in this world. They make up most of the population, and even though I draw a lot of demons and non-human characters... that's just because they're interesting to draw, but most of the characters are human characters at the end of the day. So they kind of just really suck. They don't want to. They kill a lot of magical creatures. They kill a lot of demon creatures. They don't want anything that's not people just roaming around. Oh, we've made it to the point where we're on a different page, but we're not done with the page I was just talking about. Well, I only have 2 more characters. The last 2 characters are Sunny and Blaze, and they are Christina's 2 younger sisters, and they've got a whole big story where they're like, well, they're not directly involved with one of the mafias, because it's like 3 different mafias, and they all kind of fight in the background. But yeah, that's a thing. They've accidentally gotten themselves way too involved. But now we are doing the line art for 3 out of the 4 royal families, because I don't know if I mentioned it, but this whole place is built off of, well, not directly the elements, but all the kingdoms sort of themed off of the elements, because, you know, it's easy that way. So this is the fire, air, and water kingdoms. If you combined all 3 of their kingdoms together, all 3 of them are non-human predominant kingdoms. So even if you combined all 3 of them, they only make up about 30% of the world's population. And you know, that's a big yikes, I think. But at the top we have Felicity, who is a really new character. She's basically just like the head maid, who is also a ghost. She's real weird. And then we've got the king, the queen, Ignatius, and Fiona. Fiona passed away a while ago. She's one of the few actual dead parents, because besides the orphans, I should mention that. But then we've got their 4 kids, the oldest being Heath, and then Fire, then Maddock, and then Ember, who is the youngest. And the next family we have is the Air family, and it's got the king, Cillian, and Hea. They are the worst people that have ever existed. I won't tell you what they do. You can ask me about it if you're really curious, but they are the worst people, and you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Well, they're elves. They got big pointy ears. Their skin is white. Their hair is basically white, and I don't know. It's a good time, I guess. But their children in orders from youngest to oldest to youngest. Zephyr, Eris, and then Livian. They kicked Zeph out real early on. Eris is locked up in a tower, and Livy doesn't know that, you know, she has siblings, really. She knew about her older brother, but she didn't know about her sister, and she also never knew why her brother was kicked out of the kingdom. So there's that. But, you know, someone once told me that the Air family kind of remind them of like K-pop stars, and I think it's mostly because of Zephyr, and I'm like, I understand, I guess, but I just find that really amusing. The last family on this particular page are of the Water Kingdom. So that's got the king, Vitaly, he's in a wheelchair, and then there's Xena, his wife. They are the most lovey-dovey, openly, just super public couple that's just super lovey-dovey all the time. You never see them not together, ever, like literally ever. And then they've got their kids from oldest. There's Glindwin. I can never pronounce his name. I write it down, but I never say it, you know what I mean? I usually just call him Glyn. And then there are the twins, Ryan and Marina. And, you know, they're all just cute beans. I love all of my original characters, even ones that, like, I kind of hate. I still love them. Like, Hea and Cillian, they're the worst characters. Like, even compared to, like, the mafia bosses and stuff who, like, literally murder and, like, sell children. Like, I still hate these people more. But, you know, it's like in Harry Potter, where, like, everyone hates Umbridge more than Voldemort. Even though, you know, Umbridge, really, she's just, like, a really bad teacher. And the only thing that she really did that was, like, what do you mean? Is, like, when she called the Dementor on Harry. Sorry if you haven't seen Harry Potter. I'm not sure if they mentioned that in the movie. I don't know, but random Harry Potter plug. But like I said, I've got how many other pages? So this is just one full page, and then like, you know, just the line art for another page. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole other pages that I don't have any recordings for. I was just gonna do one whole long video, but just all of those videos got lost somewhere along the way, and I didn't think I'd make a video when I was doing the first lot, which is the Earth family, so I do not have any video of them, and that makes me a little bit sad, not gonna lie. I've been talking about my original characters for about 20 minutes straight. I don't know if any of it's made any sense. I'm not sure if you've been able to keep up at all, but if you are interested at all, please let me know in the comments down below. If you've stuck around this long, that is simply amazing, because I've just been rambling. Like, I don't even know how consistent my voice has been. Like, I've been going up and down in excitement this whole time. I've been moving away and close to the microphone this whole time, and oh man, it's been a mess. It's been a real mess. This is what happens when you're like me and you don't do scripts before you just go into these sorts of videos. But, you know, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, you know what they are. Links as always will be in the description down below if you want to go follow my Instagram and things like that. I hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday wherever you are in the world, and if it's not Tuesday when you're watching this, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you all, you know, next time. I don't know when next time is gonna be, because I've decided that, you know, I mean, I'm just doing this for fun. YouTube's fun. I know I say that all the time, but it is. And I'm not gonna try to restrict myself to a schedule. I will upload a video on Tuesday if I feel like uploading a video on Tuesday. And if I ever make another gaming video, that would be on a Friday. But, oh, goodbye. Oh my god, the music's so loud. Bye bye.